To lead the Skol chant and sound the Gjallarhorn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol show. As you know, I'm Fish. Tonight with me, I have Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. He who greets with Shaq is on our pup list for tonight. He's taking care of some Shaq things. Keith is doing his thing in the background to get us kicked off. He'll be joining us shortly. Welcome to our 30th off-season show of the year. We're going to be here every week during the off-season, getting through this abyss together. Tonight, we are 32 days away from the Vikings opening game. The NFL dropped the hammer on Addy. Free three, baby. And our coaches, some of us are getting props, others being disrespectful. Now the Viking makes top 100, baby. We got some training camp notes and the game one of the preseason preview. Also tonight, we're going to be taking a look and grading our linebackers and edges. Oh, yeah. Cody's going to call it. We've got some Around the Gjallarhorn questions and hot takes. At the end of it all, we're going to give you all a chance to come on the show and speak your thoughts. But before we jump into that, let's break the ice. Cody, in a little over a month, we're going to be at US Bank, and we'll be seeing lots of cool things. One thing we won't be seeing are any player statues. Now, as much as I know that there are many players from the 70s who deserve one, but I want to keep this somewhat contemporary. Cody, who's one Vikings player from the 90s or later that should have a statue outside the bank? Bonus points for details on how it should be posed or look like.
Randy Moss. No questions asked. Sorry. I mean, if there was going to be a statue and it's from any era, it'd be Bud Grant. And you probably wouldn't name the field after the guy, but it's Randy Moss. Just put him up there with the catch against the Raiders, Charles Woodson. Have that as the statue.
Oh.
And then it'll sell itself. So it'd be Randy Moss for me.
That's a good one.
Of course. I'm going to go with Chris Hovan.
No, you're not.
Let me tell you why. This guy had a great motor. And when all else fails, having a great motor is everything. But no.
I was like, you're really dedicated to this.
I'm carrying it to the end. If I were going to go contemporary, the obvious choice would be Randy. But how about the JJ one-handed catch from Buffalo?
Yeah, we sick one too.
Ooh.
If you could somehow make a statue of that where he's doing that, I think that would be pretty fire.
That would be a good one. Both of those would be good ones. I mean, I love that Moss catch over Charles Woodson. Like, that's a sick picture. Should have that poster in the background. But then, the JJ one and have the defenders dragging off of him and catching the ball. It's a good one. I'm gonna go with the same one that I wish got a ring, and that's John Randall. And I thought about like maybe one where sacking Favre or something like that, but just be there standing, hands on his hips like he always did coming out of the huddle. He'd have his helmet on, but you would see the eye black. Like somehow they have to put that into it. But that definitely, I've always said John Randall represents the Vikings and what the Vikings are. So I would definitely put him there. And like Cody said, Bud Grant definitely does deserve one, but we were keeping this one a little more contemporary than that. What about you guys in the chat? Who would you guys like to see a statue of, since we don't have one yet at US Bank?
Or maybe like the 3 deep, and you can actually
Together.
Yeah, just together, just standing. That'd be cool.
Shaq's in the middle of moving right now, so he might try to make an appearance later, but not likely. But he is fine and well.
I mean, having the purple people eaters.
Yeah. That's the whole identity of the Vikings.
Well, that's why I kept it like not with the 70s, because obviously if anybody's gonna get one, it should be the Purple People Eaters and Bud Grant. Like those should be the first ones, no doubt about it. And even more contemporary, we are now only 32 days away from our first game, fellas.
Yeah.
Oh, as we always do.
Oh,
we look at the players who wore those numbers. Not a lot of great ones.
Oof.
What? Not a lot of great ones?
Not a lot. There's some.
Hey,
Tommy Ampli, right?
Ontario Smith was good for like 3 games.
We're going to talk about Ontario Smith. That's one he's one that I definitely wanted to talk about. But yeah, a lot of running backs on here, and we haven't had too many great running backs in our history as it is. I mean, they've either been like really great or just not good. I'm about to choke. Tommy, see your boy Amp Lee? Had to give him the picture for you. Which I was surprised. I really couldn't find a Amp Lee picture. I had to use a card.
Whoa, Alex Hortis. Wow, there's somebody been around for a while.
Yeah, he said hello earlier. He called us 3 deep. But yes, welcome back, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So we like to look at one from the past. Oscar Reed was the most intriguing one that I found. He spent 7 seasons with the Vikings, had 33 starts, 490 carries, 1,968 yards, averaging 4 yards a carry, 8 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns. It blows my mind looking at running backs from back in the day, because I mean, that's like a really good season right there by an elite running back. I mean, I know not a lot of running backs get close to 2,000, but that's like a season and a half of running backs. That was 7 years, 33 games started.
Mm-hmm.
And he averaged 4 yards of carries. It's just running backs weren't doing what they're doing. And I mean, passing wasn't like that either. It was a defensive game back in the day.
He was also playing with the guy named Chuck Foreman, too.
Yeah.
And yeah, he averaged more yards than Chuck Foreman, but that's another story. He did play in 3 Super Bowls with the Vikings, and that is all we know about Oscar Reed, number 32. 2 other running backs that I wanted to mention. One that's already been brought up, the Wizinator, Ontario Smith. He was drafted in the 4th round of the 2003 draft. He played in 2003, 2004. His career was cut short because of that Wizinator incident. And for those of you who don't know, he was going through an airport. He had his bag checked, and inside of his bag was the Wizinator, which was a contraption of a fake penis and fake urine that is used to pass drug tests. And that itself, I don't think was a crime, but it got out to the NFL that happened, and he'd already been suspended twice for marijuana. So because of that Wizinator thing, all of a sudden he got another drug test, and that was his 3rd one, which meant a year suspension for him. And he could have came back in 2006, but that's when Brad Childress became our coach, and instead of bringing him back, he just cut him, and he never made it back to the NFL.
I think his Wizinator should have been green.
Wait, why?
No, it's just recent.
Because the WNBA. Okay, I get it. You know, that Wizinator, it actually ended up going up for auction, and it got sold for $750. A Minnesota bar bought it to put on display.
Wow.
Still has a drop of piss in it.
It might. No,
Hey,
man.
it's
Like,
a sterile solution.
I don't know how many of you guys actually remember Ontario Smith playing, though. He was freaking solid. I mean, you look at, he had 231 carries, 1,100 yards, averaged 4.9, and he really didn't get a chance to have a lot of carries in games. Like, he was kind of like came in to spell Michael Bennett, and he split some time with Mo Williams. But he looked like, you know, that 2005 season, he was going to come in and he was going to take Michael Bennett's job, and he was going to be the starting running back, and he shot his own foot off.
So he's Alexander Mattis 1.0.
He didn't get the opportunity that Madison had. I mean, he had 2 starts. I don't know if it's 2003, 2004, but he had 140 yards in back-to-back games rushing. Like that was like the only 2 games where he had over 20 carries.
Well, it sucks that they were so harsh on like marijuana back in that day, and now players are free to do it until a certain date. So it's like almost like a career cut short.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. Like, if this was happening now, you know, would it be a big deal?
Mm-mm.
All right, and then we had Toby Gerhart, who was drafted in the 2nd round of the 2010 draft. He was a Heisman runner-up in 2009. He lost it to Mark Ingram by 28 points, which was the closest race ever, and I believe that's still the closest Heisman race ever. Played with the Vikings from 2010 to 2013. He had 276 carries, which 25% of those went for a first down or a touchdown. 1,300 yards. He averaged 4.7 yards a carry. 5 rushing touchdowns, 3 receiving touchdowns. Now, of course, he never lived up to the hype that he had in college. Like, he was one of the greatest college running backs ever. So you can see why the Vikings were interested in him. But I remember watching him and liking him when he played for the Vikings. I never thought about, oh man, this guy sucks, what a bust. I thought he was a good player. We had Adrian Peterson. He was never gonna be the star running back, but to me, he like played that Leroy Horde, and we haven't had Leroy Horde since Toby Gerhart, and I think that's kind of something this offense has been missing.
Yeah, bigger back, a more physical, brutal back, and I kind of think we have that now with our 2nd string running back.
That looks like Diet Mike Allstott.
Yeah, I was about to say he followed the coattails of Peyton Hillis after his big old season that he had for the Browns back in the day, and I think teams were like, "Oh, we got to get ourselves a guy like that," you know.
Yeah, but I mean, he played well enough to where the Jaguars signed him to a 3-year deal, making good money at the time. Like, he ended up being one of the top 10 paid running backs for the first year of his contract, but then he had some injuries and just really couldn't do anything after that. Horde was a bulldozer, George, but so was Toby Gerhart.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I remember liking him, but I had to go back and watch some of his highlights, to kind of refresh my memory before doing this. Dude was a bulldozer, and he was like Leroy Horde. You need a yard, will get you 3. You need 5, will get you 3. Well, he gets you 4.7 actually.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to bust a long one, but he's going to get you the first down every time. Thank you, Timmy. So, Too Evil said he went to training camp today, which we're going to talk about training camp in a little bit. But I'm interested to see if Kwesi actually answered this question. What are the expectations of the O-line and D-line inside the 25? I think we would all like to see an improvement there.
Nah, I was good with it.
Oh, were you?
Did
No.
we answer that? We answered that a couple of weeks ago, right? Top 5 in both.
But I want to know what Kwesi said. See, if I'd had a chance to ask Kwesi a question, I'd have been like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Doesn't look like we're going to get anything from Too Evil on that one. So, moving on.
What was the answer?
The current 32, Ty Chandler.
Garbage.
Drafted in the 5th round of that vaunted 2022 draft. Played 37 games with the Vikings, averaging 4 yards a carry. Last year, he only had 56 carries, and I think the year before that, maybe 60. Most of his carries came in 2023. He's been replaced by Cam Akers twice, but every preseason, he looks good, and we're like, oh, man, that's why. Okay, this is going to be the year. Like, he can definitely be the number 2 back, and he just, when it comes to the regular season, for some reason, he can't do it, and it's not just running. Like, he can't block either. And, like, are they going to keep him around just for special teams? Like, they could save $1 million to cut him.
I think they do keep him around just because of special teams and kick returning. Because that's the only time you saw him on the field was when he returned kicks, and then the eventual twice out of every 6 games.
And you know the thing is 4 yards per carry, right? That's actually not too shabby.
It ain't bad at all. Just he can't block. He can't do the other things a running back is expected to do.
Right. If I recall correctly, he didn't look great catching the ball out of the backfield either.
Yeah. And which is crazy because he had his very first game. I remember him catching the ball out of the backfield really well, and then we haven't seen it again.
Yeah, we've kind of talked a lot about Ty Chandler in the past few weeks. I think most of us don't expect him to be here, but like Cody said, maybe for special teams. But I feel like there's a lot of guys on special teams showing out. They could actually help this team a little more, and they can play on special teams too. I think there's going to be some better return options. So I think they cut him and save that meal.
Yeah, bring in old Xavier Scott.
All right, well, that's our number 32 business.
32.
Man, I hope we get better numbers next year.
About this time we'll be saying 31.
Yeah, it started off hot. Like, we were getting a lot of the guys from the the 70s, and that was cool. And now it's just like I'm looking at this list of players. I'm like, can we change it just to the first Sunday?
It's like maybe we should have a Wednesday show.
Yeah, just to change it. How's a Wednesday sound?
Better number.
So, biggest news coming out this week was something that we already knew, and that is Jordan Addison getting his suspension. And as expected, it's 3 games. Some people thought it might have been more. I was hoping maybe a game less, but it was 3. He's going to be out for the game against Chicago, Atlanta, which will be there. That sucks. And the Bengals game. Fortunately, I mean, on paper, before the season gets going, that's probably one of our weakest 3-game stretches of the season. But it's still going to be a bummer. He's not going to come back until we're playing in Europe for weeks 4 and 5. He's not going to play a game in America till week 7, which is October 19th. That's crazy.
Better to get it out of the way, though. Just get it out of the way because we got a playoff push to think about.
And it's not like we have a dedicated. It's not like we have a dedicated like
water.
It's not like the wide receiver core is a dedicated. Hey, Jordan Addison only lines up in the X, or only lines up in the Y or Z. Every wide receiver on this team can line up at any position at the wide receiver spot. So it's going to suck for him being out 3 games, but we have the wide receivers that can line up anywhere in any spot.
The great news is that Cody is going to be able to see Naylor take over a game live.
Oh, I will, and on Christmas Day.
That too.
I mean, so I think we had us going at least 2-1 in the first 3 games. Do you think Addison being out changes that at all? And do you think this is going to have an impact on JJ McCarthy? Never started before. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and now he's losing one of his top weapons for those first 3 games.
I think it'll be a minute. I think Addison could be a little bit of more of like a possession guy, or even have that big break ability, but I think there's just an abundance of riches in our offensive weapons. It's just like, I think it'll just make him appreciate that toy a little bit more once he gets it back. But he'll be just fine. So
who has the biggest chance to benefit from this on this squad? Is it Naylor, or is it Felton? Is it Rondell Moore? Lucky Jackson? Who's got the chance to make the biggest change in their life these next 3 weeks or first 3 games?
I think it's Jalen.
Okay, so I hate to say this, but it's his. I mean, Felton. He's got an opportunity to get out there and show he's an NFL wide receiver. And the way I see it is these first 3 games are going to decide what the Vikings do with Addison in the offseason next year. You got Naylor and Felton. If they show out, there you go. It's time to trade Addy. If not, maybe we better keep him. We need him.
So that's what we're currently rolling with at the bottom. I think one of those guys probably make the team because of Addison being out. Like, they might only make it for the first 3 weeks and then get cut to bring Addison back because he doesn't count towards 53 while he's suspended, I don't think. Silas Bolden, he might be our kick returner, so he might have the best chance. But Ja'Shawn Jones and Thayer Thomas, they've both been showing stuff in training camp. Thayer's been here 2 previous camps. This is his 3rd camp. Where it is, he's looking pretty good and building a connection with JJ McCarthy. I don't know even if anything make it if they get a lot of run.
I want to say week 1, I think outside of Jefferson having the biggest game without Addison there, I think it's going to be Rondale Moore, just because they're going to want quick passes, maybe like a bubble screen, wide receiver screens, and this is what he's here for. And I think just to get him going early in the stages of the game, that's who they're going to be looking for. And then we'll start opening up over the top of Justin Jefferson and Naylor on the 9 routes and the corners and posts. But I think Rondale Moore definitely is going to be involved heavily towards the beginning of that week 1 game. But the biggest guy I think is going to benefit the whole time is Jalen Naylor, just because he's coming up on a payday soon. And numbers matter for money. So if he puts up the numbers because Addison's out of there, he's going to get paid. He wants to get paid. So it's a whole spotlight is on Jalen Naylor and that wide receiver too.
Lucky Felton. Lucky Jackson. This is his 3rd camp with us, I believe, Alex. He was signed from the UFL, which I believe he was a UFL MVP. And this is his 3rd camp with us. And if you watch any of the camp highlights, especially with JJ McCarthy, aside from Jordan Addison, he's probably the one they show the most on the receiving end of the passes, and he's looked pretty damn good. I think in preseason, he's going to be the guy like Tristan Jackson, where we're watching him in preseason like, oh, my God, for sure this guy's making the roster. And then, maybe we get surprised and he doesn't. But I think he's going to show out, and we're going to see it on Saturday. I think there's a good chance he's the number 1 target of JJ McCarthy in preseason, no matter seeing how much he plays, though. So that's what we have. Are you guys confident in this with Jalen Naylor being number 2, and then we got Felton or Moore running number 3, or do you think maybe we need to explore one of these options?
I'm confident with it. Because we didn't have Addison for a game or 2 last year, right? And we did well. So I'm still confident with it.
Even with the young quarterback, Cody?
Yeah, even with a young quarterback. I mean, I'm not looking for J. McCarthy to light the world on fire. He's going to have mistakes when Addison and Jefferson are on the field at the same time, and he's still going to have mistakes when Addison's off the field. So I'm not going to be too worried about it.
I would love them to bring in Amari Cooper. I'm not even going to lie.
Oh, that's why I was going, because Amari Cooper.
But the problem arises week 4 when Jordan Addison comes back. Now, are you still Amari? Sorry, you're number 4, or Jalen Naylor all of a sudden number 4? That's the problem I have with like bringing in someone like Amari Cooper and these other guys. It's cool. It's okay. You come in for 3 games, and we might cut you after. But I think you bring in Amari Cooper, then you're committing to him for the season. Or
are you like, let's say he balls out Amari Cooper, and you're like, hey, this team needs a wide receiver. Let's go trade Mari Cooper for the deadline. Like, hey, we'll take a 5th round pick for the guy.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
We would have
It'd be great.
Boys, we would have a real 3 deep right there.
Where's Robbie when we need him to sell this one? He's been asking for Amari Cooper for like 3 seasons. And this is the best chance out of any of it happening. But I truly believe Amari Cooper is going to be one of those guys that waits to sign midway through the season. But I would give him a call. I would give him a call just to see where he's at. But it would create some conflict. And another thing that might create some conflict is another, not rumor, but, Viking fans on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, they like to, come up with ideas, solutions. And this one's kind of been taken off like fire.
Oh.
And I'm just going to get ahead of this and say, yes, I would do this. I mean, you're talking probably a 6th round pick if the Panthers were willing to move on from him, and he will cost us like $7 to $8 million. And I would not care about putting Jalen Naylor to wide receiver 4. Like Amari Cooper, I'd have some qualms with doing that to Jalen Naylor. We bring Thielen back, I don't have a problem with it. Fish, you're struggling with this one.
I'm struggling with it.
I mean, I know if we trade our 6 to the Panthers to get him, then that takes away our 6 to get Cam Akers week 3, but I'm okay with that.
Which we will need.
We might not. There might be a contingency plan. Stay tuned.
God, the guy's just so good at catching touchdowns. Nah, I'd take Amari Cooper.
Really?
Yeah, I want to go for the jugular. If I'm doing it, I'm going for the jugular. If not, I'm standing pat.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Part of it's the story, but most of it, I mean, I think that Thielen's been more productive than Cooper the past 2 seasons.
But with our coaching staff and our facilities, Keith.
Yeah. Thielen would be great.
And our scheme.
I mean, I could see it because the Panthers, they actually have a lot of young wide receivers. And I don't know if maybe Thielen's there getting in the way of their development. I do think he was Bryce Young's favorite target last year when he was available, which is another concern. But 100% I'd do this, man.
100%.
His wife has to stay in Carolina, though.
Yeah.
That's in the contract. We're the best cafeteria in the NFL. Actually, that's like one of the places where we didn't grade too well. We didn't have enough food options for some people.
Wow.
They get picky. I thought chicken tenders were chicken tenders.
How many years is left on Thielen's contract, I wonder?
He's just signed for this year.
Oh, yeah, then it's perfect because 2026 is looking rough on the old cap.
Don't worry, Rob Brzezinski will fix that.
Yeah, it's a write-off.
I mean, I think most likely scenario is we stick with what we got. Mm-hmm. But if you're going to go between should we trade for Thielen or pick up one of those guys, I'm taking Thielen.
Yeah, and I'd be happy just going 1-2 out of those 3 games as long as we beat the division opponent, the Bears, because that's going to be the game that matters.
You better shut your mouth, dude.
I'm not okay going 1-2 in those.
I am not okay losing that game when we're there.
Yeah, I'm not okay losing Atlanta.
Yeah, it's true though.
You better shut. You better.
I mean, even not like these first 5 games, we need to go 5-0. Like we really do. And we've talked about that. schedule doesn't get any easier after those 5 games. And I don't even know that it's as easy as we thought it was at the beginning. I think it's a little rougher than we thought.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's just as rough as I always thought it was.
Well, I don't think it matters about this wide receiver thing because we could have no wide receivers on the field. We lose a game, it's going to be instantly, it's JJ McCarthy's fault. 100%.
Well, it depends.
80% of this fan base will say it. There's 20% of us out there that's,
not if he throws 3 touchdowns and 300 yards and the defense gives up 40 points. I mean, there's scenarios where it's not JJ's fault.
Ever gives up 40 points.
He'll throw a check down. He'll throw one pass that's not good, and that's what the fan base is going to look at and say, yep.
4th and 8 all over again.
I mean, Kirk Cousins throws for 300-plus yards, but throws a check down on 4th and 8, and it's like, oh, it's just a nightmare. Don't check it down.
That's your nightmare. That's your nightmare.
Don't check it down, McCarthy. Do not do it after a stellar game because no one cares about all the attaboys you had.
Dylan's been drinking again.
Hey, good for him.
It's not good. I recommend that he stops.
Yeah, stop, Dylan.
All right. So not a lot of news out there aside from Addison. Some things that I saw that kind of, got me a little fuzzy, and then something that got my blood boiling. Both had to do with KOC. And the first one was ESPN. They put out a ranking of the coaching staffs, 32 to number 1. And the Vikings were ranked number 1 coaching staff by them. I thought that was awesome. Respect. I don't even know if I agree that we're number 1. I mean, I think we all like our coaches. We like the what we have there on the sideline, but we are 0-2 in the playoffs with them, and it's been 3 seasons and no playoff wins. So I'm not trying to bring the mood down so much, but do we deserve to have that number 1 spot without a playoff win?
I'm getting kind of fucking angry about this. How are we the best coaching staff in the league, but don't even have our head coach into the fucking top 20 head coaches in the National Football League? Why make it make sense?
Yeah, but I'm thinking I can believe it because there was a lot of juice that was squeezed out over the last 3 years. We overperformed in 2 of those 3 years in a major way. And the one where we didn't overperform, we still overperformed because we had – how many wins did he get with Josh Dobbs under center?
2.
And I mean, I would love to see him with a fully functional team with a franchise quarterback under center and see what happens, man.
But if you think about it, overperforming, right? People looked at our roster and said, "Oh, this team ain't going to be any good this year." Who made it good? Was it the head coaching? Was it coaching?
Are you talking about last year?
Yeah, last year.
I mean, Sam Darnold went from being a colossal bust to being a pretty damn good quarterback. And that was the key, right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Sam Darnold performing beyond anything he's ever done before was the reason why we were even in the spot we were in last year.
Blows my mind. Our head coach is not even in the top 20 when they voted on it, but we have the best coaching staff in the league.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with Flores, and it wasn't top 20. We're going to get to what you're talking about here in a second. But, I mean, it's cool to hear. It's nice to hear. I think a lot of it has to do with Flores, and I think a lot of it has to do with McCown and McCardell. So I think it's more than just the head coach on this one. But, yeah, it did surprise me to see someone put us number 1 when we haven't won a playoff game yet. What kind of pissed me off, and what Cody's alluding to here a little early, is PFF ranked their top 10 returning coaches. And it's a pretty good list. And this is basically the criteria for this was you coached last year and you're coaching again this year. So no first-year coaches were on here. So top 10 returning coaches. Skol, Zoe, what's up? And I think it's crazy, like Cody said, that Someone's saying that we had the best coaching staff, which is led by Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell won Coach of the Year last year. Kevin O'Connell has had 2 double-digit win seasons in 3 years. The 1 year he didn't, we lost our starting quarterback when we were, on an ascending part of the season. How is Kevin O'Connell not one of the top 10? How is Kevin Stefanski one of them?
Yeah, why is he even on the list? I mean, I get his 2 Coach of the Years he's won on a Browns team that's has 1 good player on it, but that makes 0 sense. Even
what have they done? What have they done the last 2 years?
Yeah, nothing. Nick Sirianni being an 8 is a joke too. The guy's been at 2 Super Bowls out of the past 3 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
3 years, 0 playoff wins, not top 10. Then why is Mike Tomlin there? I understand they won a Super Bowl, but Tommy, you were like in diapers still when Mike Tomlin won the Super Bowl. They haven't won a playoff game since like 2016.
Yeah. You can talk Super Bowls. KOC and Brian Flores each have 1.
I mean, what has Jim Harbaugh done that KOC hasn't in his second? I'm talking Jim Harbaugh's second stint. You can't really talk about what he did in Frisco because he went and had a whole nother life in college and came back.
Kevin Stefanski on the. I mean, 2 Coach of the Year awards, but he doesn't. Is this return? Yeah, entering 2025. He is not a top 10 coach entering 2025. Maybe 2024 he was because he came off a Coach of the Year, but not this year.
I don't know. Do you guys agree in the chat, or do you think this is the right list, or should KOC be in there? The returning Coach of the Year.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Pause. Why Sean Payton number 2?
I was going to say that. I mean, I don't even know that Sean Payton deserves to be on this list. 1 season.
Why Sean?
Like, are they getting accolades for what they did years ago? Another one. I think that's a good sign when you start getting spammers, to be honest.
I know, man. We're getting somewhere.
Well, Sean Payton should be on the list. I would put him down to 10, I would think, because he came back and took the Broncos to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback. That's tough, but not where he's at right. He does not belong at 2. I think Sirianni or McVay belong at 2 just because Sirianni went to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years, won it. That's ridiculous. So
Broncos have had that defense before Peyton got there.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie.
Yeah. And what he did, what Sean Payton did with the quarterback is what got him, I think, on the list, but it shouldn't be at 2.
See, you guys are feeling the exact same type of frustration I feel with power rankings. It's like, why?
Yeah, 6. I mean, we won 14 games last year. I mean, until the year starts, we should.
With the power rankings, I get why you don't like them. I don't like them either. It's just I like to see what other people think about our teams. It's not like I put any stock into it, but now I'm seeing what PFF thinks about our coach, and it's just crazy to me.
It's like, damn.
You were the best coach last year, but you are not one of the top 10 returning. You won MVP, but you're not one of the best players coming into the season.
Yeah, like you got Jim Harbaugh at 6, Payton at 2. Why the hell is Payton so up higher than Harbaugh when they're both just returned in their first year?
I mean, Sean McVay actually won a playoff game last year.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah.
Smoked us. Rolled up and smoked.
PFF does get worse every year. They always lose.
Yeah, we should just stop using them as a guardrail. We should find something else.
I mean, move off a cliff then, I think.
No one else is going to tell us about left guards.
If it wasn't for PFF and that guardrail, I think we'd start acting like Robbie.
Too late.
Right, T-Bass, we know what you think about him, but you got to admit that it's kind of ridiculous that he's not in the top 10 coming into the season after winning Coach of the Year. I get it. Got to win a playoff game, but there's a lot of guys on there who haven't won a playoff game in a long time or haven't won one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you do it again, KOC? Can you quarterback whisper yourself into a more than 10-win season? do it again. Well, he's going to be doing it again for a while.
All right, some other good stuff in the news. We got another player in the top 100, fellas. I didn't think it could be done. I thought once we got to like 50s, like, all right, no more Vikings until Justin Jefferson. But we got Jonathan Grenard at 48 inside the top 50. Vicious guy, apparently.
With him from day one, baby.
I love it, man. But I am shocked that Van Ginkel was 88 and Grenard was 48. Are you guys surprised that there's such a big disparity between the two?
Yeah. I mean, one of them wasn't all pro and the other wasn't, right?
Right.
And I think Greenard's more of a player's player, so he's going to get voted higher. He's on every – if you look around, Ginkel has those nice highlight-looking plays, but Greenard is on almost every single play. And that's what makes him separated from what Ginkel is.
Oh, Timmy, of course, he's going to be top 10, Justin Jefferson. But I wonder if this leaves a little bit of a door open for Christian Darrisaw to get in. I need that 5. All right. So another week of training camp, fellas. Getting ready for that first preseason game in 2 days.
Yes.
It seemed like early on the news was all about how great J.J. McCarthy looked, how good the offense looked, how much it was humming. Not so much this past week. This past week, it's been the defense that's been taking over. And the defense is looking good. And, now there's questions about McCarthy because of the defense. Are you guys more concerned that the offense seems to be struggling right now? Are you guys more impressed about the defense and what they're doing? Or does none of it matter?
I'm a little worried about the offense for when it comes to playoff time, but I also think that we got enough time to go through the season for things to get fixed to where I won't have to. But, what we're seeing right now in training camp makes me think, what happens when we play the Eagles?
Mm-hmm.
What happens when we play a stacked defense? Will we be able to compensate? Is our offensive line not as good as we think it is? All that kind of stuff, right? But hey, we can win every game 10-3. I'm all right with it.
I'm not
exactly what I'm asking, Alex. Should we worry that the defense is looking good against our O-line?
I'm not worried at all because I know this defense is going to be a really good unit this year. And Flores he has no brake pedal when it comes to rookie quarterbacks, first year quarterback. He's sending the gas every play. And I want to tell myself, hey, bring it back a little bit. Let the kid kind of develop through this offseason a little bit, let him get some of those passes off. Nah, fuck all that. Send the blitz every single down because we're going to get those teams that are going to death. McCarthy, and if those teams' defenses aren't up to par as ours is going to be this year, that looking at those receivers is going to be a little bit more easier, right? And everything has to be within the 3 to 5 second window of throwing that football, right? And sometimes it's way less than that, especially with the really good defenses. So to get him up to speed, to get that ball out of his hands real fast, unlike Sam Darnold that we had last year, I think is going to be detrimental for how the season's going to play out. And just like what Fish said, I'm not worried until we get to those playoff teams, but we still got time in the season before we even hit those playoff teams.
To hell with it. Send the 6th for Thielen and send the 5th for Cousins as our backup, and then we're going to just go.
I would do that. I would absolutely do that. But I wouldn't pay Cousins his contract. That they had to figure that out too. But do you think like some of that shine starting to wear off of JJ? Some of that new car smell? Is it already wearing off?
He's a rookie.
Not for me.
He's a rookie. When I was saying earlier about people are being disappointed in JJ McCarthy, he's still a rookie quarterback. People got to know this. Like everyone wants they want Jaden Daniels right off the get. That's what they want. You're probably not going to get that. You're going to get a 22-year-old quarterback out there trying to develop through as the season moves along. That's what you're going to get.
Cody, I don't think they're forgetting, because the people who are doubting JJ are saying he's an untested, unproven quarterback. And right now they're probably seeing this as a way of bolstering their argument. See, we told you.
Like we told you, this is my back door. Now, I can escape out of this argument because I was right. Like, just let him go. Let him play. See how it moves forward. If he is straight up dog water, or what do you want to call it? I don't want to say dog shit, but if he's that, then 4 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 2 years from now, we'll go fucking trade for another quarterback or draft one.
But this also gets back to why I like to see starters play in preseason games, because it's one thing to see practices against our own guys and all that, but I just like to see players play against people in different uniforms as more of a barometer.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. And even if they torch somebody who's going to be saying, "Do you want fries with that?" in 2 weeks, at least show that they can torch somebody, you know.
Robbie and Tommy are the two biggest JJ McCarthy haters, and I almost want him to succeed more just to shut them up than I do for us to win.
Yeah. I mean, even if we do win, in my opinion, like let's say we make the playoffs, he has one bad throw, that a 4th and 8 check down, let's say, they're going to be, "Oh, I told you so." Oh, even after a 4,000-yard passing season, they're like, "Oh, I told you so." You know, that's how it's gross. Honestly, it's stupid. It's weak mentality.
I put up a poll to see are people worried about JJ McCarthy or not.
Going to bring out all of Robbie and Unk's burner accounts where they're voting.
I mean,
and have him have his doubt. Well,
I can guess that because we got 10 votes and it's 70% no, 30% yes. So we got Tommy and Robbie worried and one other person. Don't compare him to Jaden Daniels.
I tell you what, I should start talking smack about McCarthy. That way he'll be an all-pro.
Like what? Okay, let's say Jay McDaniels had a good year last year.
Not opposed to it, Fish.
What if Jay McDaniels has a terrible this year? Has a terrible year this year without Terry McLaurin because he once traded. Has a just dog shit year. Then what are we going to say?
I mean, I don't know a year ago if anybody would have compared Jaden Daniels to Lamar Jackson, but I'm pretty sure they would now.
Yeah, what if? Okay, what if Jason McCarthy has a good year? Robbie, we have 20 viewers. We're not trying to go down to 7.
So we had 12 votes, 66% yes, 33% no. So as far as our watchers and viewers, they're still in on JJ McCarthy. I'm still in on JJ McCarthy.
Wait, that says no, 66% yes, 33%.
Huh? Yeah, no, they're not worried.
Okay.
Come on now. So I've been excited to see him in training camp, and everything wasn't going to be great. He wasn't going to have bad days. It'd be terrible if he was just shredding up our new defense because we're so high on them. So if our defensive line wasn't getting to him, I'd be worried, especially because we've only had our starting offensive line together maybe one day out of all these training camps. There's always been 1-2 of them missing. So I'm good for it.
Yeah, I like what Unk said. He's not worried. He'll be inconsistent. Still a rookie. Good days, bad days. 10-7. I'm fine with that. I don't know if the rest of the fan base is fine with 10-7. I'm okay with it.
I think we need to squeeze out one more win to win that division.
I checked the hell no box from Bob.
That's a pretty good season, Jason.
Mm-hmm. Those are some Caleb Williams numbers right there.
I don't like Robbie says don't compare him to Jane. Don't compare him to Caleb Williams either.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be Caleb either.
So this is the one thing, right? I am not concerned about the pressure of the situation getting to him. So if he has a bad game, I feel, or even a bad a bad set of downs, I feel like he can compartmentalize it and come back and be okay.
Compartmentalize.
But I think that's pretty important for his success, short and long term. Is he can have a bad game, he can have a real stinker. Hopefully, it's not week 1 or week 2, and but he can just kind of come back around and say, "I got to fix this. I got to fix this," and be open about it, and then do it, and actually do it, and then come back better.
Fish, go ahead and answer Swede.
Mrs. Howell.
I don't get it. I'm too young for it.
Gilligan's Island, baby. Ginger and Marianne.
No. I know that's Gilligan's Island, but I don't know the Mrs. Howe. Who's that?
That was the third woman on the island. Lovey.
She
was the millionaire's wife.
For the people that voted yes in the poll, like, what is the why to your concerns about JJ McCarthy? That's what I really want to hear. Like, what is the why to it? Why are you voting yes?
I was gonna say Marianne too, but Robbie said it, so no, it's Ginger. Well, you know, 2 of them was Robbie and Unk.
No, Unk said no.
Oh, okay, Unk said no.
Like, what is, like, you don't have enough show, but tell me the why. Why is it? Is it you can't say
because he beat Bama? He retired Nick Saban. Like, that's why.
It's his first year playing quarterback. Well, yeah, rookies struggle. You seen Aikman and Manning? Like, those dudes are Hall of Fame quarterbacks, Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. They struggled their first year.
But the thing about Robbie too is, like, not just that he's gonna say, "Oh yeah, he might have a bad year," but I can see him having a good career. Robbie's like, "No, he's a piece of shit. He's always gonna be a piece of shit."
Yeah. It's wild to me.
Because he's not Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, he had a good rookie year, right? No.
Why wasn't he a top-ranked quarterback in the draft? I think he was. There was just a lot of quarterbacks in the draft. He's still a top 10 pick.
I just think expectations from fan base on McCarthy is just a little bit too high.
Super Bowl homeboy. Super
Bowl homeboy.
It isn't a Super Bowl. It's pitchforks and flames. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I've got some leftover tiki torches.
So there were some injury concerns also in training camp. One being Ryan Kelly had an elbow issue, but he was back at practice yesterday, Fish.
Oh, okay. Woo! Skol, Shaq.
See, Fish like, damn, that hot take's going to hit early. But nope. We're good.
Oh, belay that order.
Who was it? TJ Hawkinson. He went out with a strained groin. That one was a little bit scary because they tell you, oh, everything's mild. Oh, it's not a big deal. Then all of a sudden, they're missing 6 games. But he was back at practice yesterday too, so that was good. And the one, even though I just said what I said, I'm not worried about JJ. You see him out there running around. He's out there playing with the guys, tackling KOC. Out there playing catch. He's doing his own drills on the sideline. Not really worried about him. I don't think we have a true injury worry at this point. Darasaw's been out there. He's been ramping up his participation. And I just think it's very likely he plays week 1 right now. That's crazy.
That's amazing. Stem cells, baby. Stem cells.
That makes sense, T-Bass. What's up, Shaq? Shaq in the chat. They've missed you, man. They've been asking about you. So there are some battles still going on, and we're going to see a lot of this play out on Saturday, which, dude, I don't know if I was saying the same thing last year, but I'm super excited for this game because there are a lot of battles and a lot of positions that I want to see how they perform. And the Sam Howell versus Brett Rippon, neither one of them are showing that they're QB2 material. And the funny thing is that it's Max Brosmer. He's the one that's looking like the best option at quarterback too. But like I said last week, I can't imagine a scenario where they go into the season with two quarterbacks who have never taken a snap in the NFL regular season being quarterback 1 and 2. This is all leading to Vikings got to go out and get somebody. And I'll say it. I know you guys agree. I'd take Jameis Winston.
Hell yeah, I'd take Winston. Oh yeah, boy, if he ever had to get in there, that'd be some exciting football.
But Brosmer has been looking the best in camp. They say Sam Howell, he throws a pretty ball, but he doesn't make good decisions, and he's kind of inaccurate. But that ball looks good when he throws it. And his decision-making was the reason that he was one of the most sacked quarterbacks of 1 year. He did get to start for Washington. So I don't know, man. They got to go out there and get Tannehill or Carson Wentz. I don't know. They might have to do something. There needs to be a contingency plan because I believe in J.J. McCarthy, but injuries do happen in this league. And quarterback 2 could become very important.
I could care less who's quarterback 2 at this point. McCarthy goes down. Even if McCarthy is healthy, it's still a miracle run if we make a deep run in the playoffs. If McCarthy goes down, it's still the same miracle run. We go deep in the playoffs. So,
yeah, but
that's what you're banking on. Well, bank on that.
It's either that or picking in the 20s again.
Get used to it, Cody.
Well, we're used to it.
So I think we'll see a lot of these, all three of these guys on Saturday. That'll be an interesting watch. I don't think JJ plays that much. Tight end, it's still been Eurosex's job, but we did go out and sign Nick Vanette, and he's been around for 8 or 9 years. Normally a tight end 2, maybe even a tight end 3. He's been on 7 different teams, so he's just a guy who gets around. But he's managed to have a pretty long career. I don't know if he's here to actually push for tight end 3 or if he's just here kind of as a camp body and a preseason game body, because I would imagine Hawkinson's probably not going to play on Saturday. You know, even though he came back to practice with that groin, why put him out there? So I think it's still Ben Eurosex's job to lose. Gavin Bartholomew, maybe he gets to get on the PUP list. If he doesn't, he's probably getting cut.
I think it goes to if Bartholomew doesn't get cut, I think it goes to the practice squad.
Oh yeah, because no one's gonna pick him up. He's got a back injury.
Yeah.
So he's damaged goods.
Damaged goods.
Wide receivers, this one's interesting too, man. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting plots that makes preseason worth watching. If you've been paying attention to what's going on and the players outside of our starters, there's still a lot to be determined. And out of these guys, I think Silas Bolden, Lucky Jackson probably have the best chance to make it. But with Addison being out, like we said, Thayer Thomas, Ja'Shawn Jones has a chance to make it. Tim Jones, he's a special teams guy, and that's why they signed him. They didn't sign him to be a wide receiver. He's someone who could, take Ty Chandler's spot on special teams. And the name I've also been hearing float around is Dante Fleming. I actually just added his name to the list today. That name's been kind of buzzing a little bit. I don't know if anybody else has been watching practice, but he's been flashing. So these are guys I'll be watching for the preseason, especially Lucky Jackson, man. I hope he makes it.
I'd like him to be our next BC Johnson.
I don't want anybody to be BC Johnson. But maybe I'm not getting it.
No, BC just kind of rose up, I mean, he did have a pretty damn good year before we drafted JJ.
Okay. Give me Aguilar.
We've already got somebody who has a tough time catching the ball, Shaq.
Shaq might be way behind because Aguilar's name was on that list of wide receivers that are available.
I'm interested in seeing how Jay McCarthy plays without Justin Jefferson and these other wide receivers. And then with Jordan Addison, he should be playing preseason games, right?
Yeah, he's allowed.
Watching him and Addison get to it, because Justin Jefferson is Justin Jefferson, right?
He's not going to play.
Seeing him connect with Jordan Addison is going to be probably the highlight of the whole night.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Jordan Addison might play more than he normally would because he's out for the first 3 weeks?
Yeah. I think the ball goes a lot to Jordan Addison. Yeah.
Like, you think he's only in there as long as JJ McCarthy's in there, or do you think they keep him in there with Sam Howell?
That's a good question, honestly. I'd put him in there for Sam Howell's first series, up to Sam Howell's first series. Just get some reps in.
Robbie, you totally missed the question. Does he play more in preseason because he's out for the first 3 regular season games?
I think he understood it, but he's still putting his logic to it.
There's no logic to it. And then something that started heated up right now was Ty Chandler versus Xavier Scott for the running back 3 position. It was Ty Chandler versus Trey Stewart, but Trey Stewart is one name I have not heard at all. So it doesn't sound like he's really going to be in the mix unless he blows these guys away in preseason, which I doubt it. But Ty Chandler versus Xavier Scott. Xavier Scott is an interesting one to watch. He was a wide receiver and a running back in college, and I think that's what they like about him is he's been doing a lot of the pass catching out of the backfield. And I think that's where he's better than Ty Chandler. He might even be better than Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason at doing that. And he's a guy that, one of those high energy, high motor guys, like a guy that people like. Apparently he's looking really good in training camp. And Ty Chandler, up until I think yesterday, I started seeing some good stuff about Ty Chandler. But before that, it was all bad news about him. Like, Ty Chandler's really going up a hill.
That vaunted 22 draft class.
Yeah, it's possible that Jalen Naylor could be the last one standing.
To pound the table, he listened to a head coach.
All of our running backs been catching a lot, but they all haven't been doing it as good. Adrian Peterson could catch the ball, but he couldn't catch it, turn around, make a move, and get yards after it. They can all catch it.
Yeah,
I happen to know our fullback can run a post route.
He can. For some reason, we have a fullback.
Yeah.
And then Walter Rouse versus Logan Brown. I don't think Logan Brown's making this team. I haven't heard a lot about him. I've actually seen a lot of Walter Rouse. And Dallas Turner's been having a good camp. Dallas Turner's been looking good. But there's some footage out there of Walter Rouse stoning Dallas Turner. And they already like Rouse. Kwesi loves Rouse. Like, if you watch the videos of Rouse getting drafted, that was somebody that Kwesi really wanted on this team. So I don't think Logan Brown's going to overcome as much as you wanted that, Fish.
I hope he gets to our practice squad.
I think so, because I don't think anyone's going to take him and put him on their 53.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty warm on Rouse last year, especially after watching him play in preseason games. I thought he looked good playing right tackle. I didn't think he looked good playing left tackle. So, yeah, I mean, I think I might have even said our heir apparent to Brian O'Neill, thinking of the actor from the 90s. But, yeah, I mean, I'd just like to see I like both of them. And I do see Walter Rouse being a starting offensive tackle for us in the relatively near future.
He's a big boy.
And I like doing that with offensive linemen if they're not first round picks. It's like almost like with the quarterback, right? Develop them, and don't send them out there year 2 like we did Ingram. Let them develop for that first whole rookie contract year. Sign him for cheap for 3 to 4 years and then put him out there. And then with all that development time he's had, now he's a starting capable tackle or offensive lineman. And in the ceiling could be Pro Bowl, could be all pro, and the floor can definitely be, not good. But with all that development time during these seasons in those first 4 years, you might have a gem on you.
See, this is what my heart wants out of those two. My heart wants Brown to make it to our practice squad. And in about 2 years, Walter Rouse is our starting right tackle and Brown is our swing tackle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my heart wants.
And just replay it.
I don't think that's out of the question. On the defensive side, this is some things to watch. Gabriel Murphy versus Bo Richter. I think both of them are going to make the 53. Right now, it sounds like Gabriel Murphy kind of has a leg up on Bo Richter for that number 4 spot. I don't know that the number 5 sees the field too much because you got Grenard and Van Ginkel who play the most downs at that position more than anybody else in the league. And then, Dallas Turner's going to have to get his. And then the number 4 guy, he might get in there and get some run. Number 5, probably not too much. Tyler Batty and Chaz Chambliss probably don't have a great chance of making this 53, man. But they're going to be out there trying hard this weekend. So that'd be good to see. One of the biggest battles is going to be Okudah versus Blackman. And Dwight McGlothern has entered the conversation.
Dwight McGlothern is becoming – he ain't even a dark horse anymore, man. I'm telling you. I'm going to stick by that hot take. I think McGlothern's going to overtake both of them, and then I think Vaughn's going to squeeze Okudah right out.
You're hoping. I'm just hoping for his best, but I don't know. Yeah, if I had to guess, I'm going to say that Okudah gets cornerback 3, and it ends up being McGlothern who's cornerback 4, and Mekhi Blackman's kind of waiting until next year, which I'm okay with that. He's coming back from an injury.
This is his, second year, third year?
Third year. But Dwight McGlothern, it just seems every practice he's coming away with an interception. And, you could take all that stuff with a grain of salt, but it's better that he's getting an interception than he's not getting an interception. So he's, getting his name out there. People are talking about him. And he was a UDFA, man. So he's like working his way up the ranks. And if not the beginning of the season, by the end of the season, we can see him being our cornerback 3.
I think Jeff Okudah is a lock for 3 right now. Just for maybe it's like what was that time we had Cam Dantzler at 3 or at 2. Yeah. The first 3 weeks, and then see what he's actually doing in the game. And then if it's poor, then I think they rotate Dwight McGlothern. I also think they rotate Mekhi Blackman, McGlothern, and Okudah. That's all our cornerback 3. Every single one of those players will have the same amount of snaps in this year. At the end of the year, that's our cornerback 3. It's a group. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, and I agree. I think it's Okudah's, and there's probably not much he could do to lose that because I don't imagine how much we'll see of him in the preseason.
Yeah.
But I do think it's something, we go into the regular season and he has a couple bad games. I think it'll be a short leash for him, but I do think he goes in at number 3. I think it's a long road from Mekhi Blackman to get playing time, but that's fine. That's fine because if it's Dwight McGlothern and Blackman fighting for number 4, I think we're kind of seeing why they haven't gone out there and made a move for a cornerback. Said before, said again, they like who we have. They like what they're seeing. And that's cool, man, because Dwight McGlothern and Mekhi Blackman, they could be here for a while. They're young guys. So instead of going and getting these rentals, we got cornerbacks at home.
And you're rotating the cornerback 3 spot out with the Metellus. So it's like our cornerback 3. Those are the dudes. Rotate them. What is it? Cornerback by committee. That's how they will say that.
Yeah, and then you got Jeremiah Vaughn, who has a good chance of making this roster, right, Fish?
Mm-hmm. Until we find out that our cornerback room is actually absolute ass, and then we got to scramble and go get somebody.
Yeah, Shaq, I haven't heard anything about Samuel's neck, but at this point, I think I'm out. I don't think we need to go and pay double digits for a cornerback. I was all in earlier on doing something like that, on going out and get one of these guys, but I think I'd rather just roll with what we got.
Yeah, unless Murphy or Rogers degresses or is just straight garbage, that's when you go out and you go grab probably a cornerback. Same.
What's up, Tanya? Yeah, I don't even think Gilmore's an option anymore. I thought for sure we'd end up signing Stephon Gilmore just to have some depth. I don't think we need it. I really don't. So I don't even see that happening. I don't see us going and signing a big name, an expensive guy. I don't see us going and signing depth. I think we have all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the problem is that I think the flip side of the coin of not having Justin Jefferson out there in practice and having this much pressure coming from the defensive line right now is if it wasn't the case, maybe these cornerbacks could get exposed now instead of week 1 or week 2 in the regular season. So I don't know that we're having an actual honest assessment of these guys right now, because I think that there's just too many things working in their favor.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it's going to last up to week 1 because I think Samuel is going to be a free agent during weeks 1, 2, and 3. I don't think he gets signed by a team. So the option is still out there. Even Gilmore could be the same way. It's almost like because you're scared about the neck injury with Samuel. Gilmore is a mercenary, like you see all these running backs that get pulled off free agency late in the year. I think that's how it goes, and you're gonna see they're gonna do a C approach and see an approach thing, and like if it's bad at the 1 and 2 corners, and your 3s can't do it because it's a committee, yeah, you're probably gonna bring in a guy like Samuel or Gilmore in weeks 2 or 3.
Jason, knock it off. Also, his dad said he's not doing the draft next year.
Smart man.
Samuel didn't talk trash about Chris Carter. It was his father, not Junior. It was Senior that talked that crap. Mm-hmm. And then defensive line. This is going to be a tough battle. At first, it looked like Jalen Redmond and Tyrion Ingram-Dawkins were the ones that were taking the first string snaps. But this week, it was Levi Drake Rodriguez. And all indications, all reports, he looked good doing it. I think it's going to be very tough because I think only 2 of these guys make it. And I got to say Jalen Redmond's a lock. And then who
better be, damn it.
I think it's going to be.
Never say anything bad about him.
I think we'll keep 3 of them, and Taki's the one that's gone.
That would really be a bummer because Taki's like the only true nose tackle we have on this roster. Mm. But you could be right. They might be able to sneak him onto the practice squad.
Yeah. And then we'll bring Taki depending on up. We'll activate him and drop one of our outside linebackers off, or we'll drop one of these defensive tackles depending on what offensive scheme we're playing that week. Like let's say Eagles are coming up. We need a big guy.
6 and tier defensive linemen. It's kind of a lot.
Yeah. And you got to think Hargrave and Allen are up in age right now, too, so they're going to need time off.
Are they? Really? No kidding. They're a little older?
Well, we signed them. They must be, right, Fish?
Yeah.
I mean, but they're rested, right? Because they had some time
came
off
injuries
last year.
Yeah, they had injuries. But as we talked about, neither are injury prone. They just dealt with the injury last year.
And they're smoking our offense right now.
They are.
I don't really care.
But we're going to get to see all this in 2 days, fellas. First preseason game. It's here, man. Football's really here. How much do you guys think JJ McCarthy plays in this game? Because last year, Sam Darnold only played 1 drive. It was a long drive. I think went like 7 minutes, but he only played 1 drive. Do you think KOC plays JJ a little bit longer?
Yes.
How much a little bit longer?
At least a quarter.
Okay. That'd be a solid amount.
I would say it depends on his performance. Let's say that first series he goes down, scores a touchdown. I think he yanks him. If he has a bad throw, interception, does it hasn't been up to par what he's supposed to be, I think he stays in longer. Just so getting used to that. Hey, how are you going to bounce back off this interception? We'll see it next series. If he scores a touchdown first series, he's out. Then I think we're going to get a real strong look at who's going to be our quarterback too.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gives them the half. Do I want that? Not really. But I wouldn't be surprised. But
I mean, if
what are you hoping?
I sure do want it.
What are you hoping to see from him, Fish? Like, is there anything like that could make you feel comfortable, or maybe not? Like, what are you hoping to see from J.J. McCarthy in this first preseason game?
I just want to see something like we saw last year in his first preseason game. Good throws, nice connections, good anticipation. Just, not getting his knee injured. But I mean, I was excited. I think all three of us were excited after we saw him play his first preseason game. I just want to see that. Good command, good representation, good anticipation, nice throws, score a couple touchdowns, keep things going. And then you might see a lot of this angst because he's getting mollywopped by our defense kind of go away. Okay, not every defense is like him. The guy can play football.
Yeah, we were excited. I mean, it made Cody go and make a TikTok.
Yeah,
I know.
And then he retired.
This is what happens when I make a TikTok video. I'm out.
I would expect just a good command of the offense. And if it's during that first series, they pull them. Just because, I mean, you don't need to string him out there. Like Shaq even mentioned in the comments, you don't need to string him out there to see what you got. You can see what you got in that first series, how he's manipulating the ball, right? How he's getting the release off of there. I don't care about playing time because playing time is going to come during the year, right? I'm more focused on, I want to see what our quarterback 2 situation is going to be. Like they're all going to get a quarter apiece. All 3 of those quarterbacks are going to get a quarter apiece, right? How might get a quarter and a half just to see where he's even at for quarterback 2 already. But just seeing J.J. McCarthy out there for like one series has good command of it. And if he has that legendary preseason game, like Alex said, then you just pull him. Like you know what you got. You saw it.
I hope we see that same thing that we saw. Besides JJ, what are you going to be watching most intently, Cody, on the offensive side of the ball?
Besides JJ, offensive side of the ball, I'm going to be looking at those 3 receivers behind Jefferson and Addison. I really want to see Jalen Nailor fix his drop problem, and he still has it this whole training camp. He has had the drop problem. You've seen a couple good highlights of him catching the back of the end zone, but other than that, he just got big for no goddamn reason. He is still the balls are hitting his hands and they're flying everywhere, right? And that's a couple of JJ McCarthy's passes intercepted because of Jalen Nailor can't catch the ball. I really need to see Jalen Nailor show out this game, and I would really like to see the connection between McCarthy and Addison during that first series a lot. I want to see a lot of passes go that way.
What about you, Fish? What are you watching on the offensive side of the ball?
I will be intently watching our current first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know you will. Just ready to tear him up, huh?
I will throw the love if the love is warranted, and you will hear the word reach if it's not. More times here.
Look, he's reaching.
Fish is going to have binoculars looking at his TV.
I tell you what, I've got to do. I've been thinking about for most of this show. I have to physically write down like the players and their numbers so I can help retain it, so I'll know who I'm looking at. Because sometimes I'm just like, who the hell was that? I don't know who that number is. But yeah, I'm gonna be looking. I'm gonna be looking at our new bright and shiny, and let's see if he does well.
Yeah, I'll definitely have the roster up on my laptop. Have it organized by number.
You're switching dudes out during the preseason game. Yep, you're gone.
You're gone.
Well, see, I'll just be scratching them off, Cody, because I'm analog. I'm writing it down. That helps with the retention.
That's probably smart. I'm going to be watching that RB3. I want to see Xavier Scott because we picked him up in the middle of last season, so we haven't really got to see him. I think he's going to get a lot of run. So I'm really interested to see can he come in and potentially be that RB3 because it will be important. We are going to run the ball more this year, and we're going to need 3 running backs. And I want to see the pass catching ability too. I want to see him beat out Ty Chandler. I like Ty Chandler in college, and I was happy that we were able to draft him so late, and I actually believed that he was going to be good, but he's had 3 seasons to do it, and I don't see it. So hopefully Scott can show us something, and hopefully they get him in there early. I don't want to see him come in against 4 stringers, at least against 2nd stringers. I'm watching for a return specialist. That's fair. I think we're going to see a lot of Silas Bolden.
Yep.
I wonder if they'll put Rondell Moore out there to do some returns. They might.
Yeah, I think you'll see him too a little bit.
What about on the defense side of the ball, Fish? What are you looking for?
I'm going to watch our corners. Especially when the starting defensive tackles are not playing, if they even play. I don't know that Allen and Hargrave will play, maybe for 1 series. But I'm going to watch our corners. I want to see our corners cover people that they're not used to sharing a locker room with and see how they do.
That might be the most interesting one. What about you, Cody? What are you looking for on that defense side?
So I was going to say corners too, but I'm gonna go with a guy that we haven't heard about since the contract extension, and it's Theo Jackson. I would like to see what Theo Jackson does on the field, because if we need a replacement for Harrison Smith next year, I'd like to see where he is at especially against where he's supposed to be right now, where he is at development wise against the 2nd and 3rd string teams. Like, is he lights out and then he's like, oh yeah, he is definitely a 1st string safety. He should be there. So that's going to be interesting to see.
Timmy agrees with you. He would like to see the safeties. On the flip side, Fish, yeah, Allen and Hargrave probably don't play too much, but I'm interested to see those backup defensive tackles because I think this year the Vikings are really going for the rotation, kind of like the Eagles did last year. The Eagles had a heavy rotation, and one of those guys in the rotation, was a big force and ended up getting a big contract for the Patriots. So these guys are going to be just as important as Allen and Hargrave. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Shaq is going with the running backs and interior linebackers.
Can I ask a question for everybody in here and in the chat?
Robbie, say you just did.
Who's going to be the Mr. Mankato or Mr. Preseason on that very week 1 game? Who's going to be the guy that just shows out? Who is going to be that dude? I'm going to go with Kobe King. I think we're going to see Kobe King smack a motherfucker. I think he's going to hit someone and make his name known that he belongs in this league.
That's a good one. I'm going to stick to it. Shaq says Ty Felton. I think we're going to be at the Crooked Pint, Jason. We might hit a couple spots, but for sure that at some point we'll be at the Crooked Pint. I'm going to call out the star of the game is going to be Xavier Scott. Lucky Jackson. That's a good one, Timmy. What about you, Fish? Who's going to be the star of the preseason game?
Max frickin' Brosner.
I can see that.
Yeah, How many yards? How many yards?
For Max? Figure quarter, maybe two sets of downs. About 80 yards.
As long as it's a high completion percentage and a touchdown in there, he might get some accolades for that. All right, well, Saturday we will be live after the game, getting ready for our aftercare. If the game starts getting slow, in the fourth quarter, we might, jump started a little early at the end of the fourth quarter or something like that. But we will be doing a live show on Saturday just to go over the game and talk about it. So hope to see you guys there. Cody, you got a call it for us?
I do have a call for us, and I don't know. I think it's a pretty solid call it, right? I'm going to say Jordan Mason will out carry Aaron Jones this year. I'm going to say that because I think Aaron Jones will miss some time this year, and I think we're going to see the emergence of Jordan Mason. It is like one of our very first picks that we got in the offseason, right, was Jordan Mason. And looking back through the years, that running back 2 status, like when we had Michael Bennett, like if AP went down, Michael Bennett would probably have stepped up in a 1,000-yard running back. I loved him last year when McCaffrey was out. He stepped in, and he played very, very well. I think he's going to do the same thing this year as he did last year. I think he's going to be a fantasy darling. You're going to want him when Aaron Jones goes down. You're going to want to handcuff him to start your draft, maybe picking him up in the last round of your draft just to handcuff him with Aaron Jones if you're drafting Aaron Jones. I really like Jordan Mason. I think for the future-wise, Jordan Mason's going to be our running back 1. I don't think we're ever going to have to draft one after Aaron Jones.
I feel bad saying that I'm going to buy that because I don't want to hope for an injury to Aaron Jones, but last year was like one of the first times that he had an injury-free season, and I don't want it to happen just because of an injury. Like if it happens, I want it to happen because Jordan Mason's just balling and he's earned it.
Mm-hmm. You do not have to worry about an injury, sir. Last year, Aaron Jones played the whole season, and he showed that he could start a game strong, but he got weak in the second half. In the second half, when we need to run the ball to close people out, it's Jordan Mason time. And I got a hot take saying Jordan Mason going to be in the Pro Bowl. This is what's going to do it. I'm buying, and it's not because of injury. It's out of necessity. Aaron Jones, he can't finish a game. He can start one like a house of fire, but he can't finish it, and Jordan Mason will be our finisher.
Sorry, Aaron Jones. You're a great running back. I just think Jordan Mason is the future for our running back position on this team.
Oh, shit. Just realizing I didn't change pictures on this. Oh, well. Those guys' picture did not play these positions, but we're going to talk about our inside linebackers and our outside linebackers and grade them. I messed up in the graphics department and did not replace these 2 fine fellas here. Get over it. So our inside linebackers, we got Blake Cashman, Ivan Pace, Eric Wilson, and a battle between Brian Asamoah and Kobe King. Outside linebackers and edges, man, that's pretty much set. Jonathan Grenard, Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, Gabriel Murphy, Bo Richter. Blake Cashman, what a man. 29 years old, 7th season, 2nd with the Vikings. Last year, he started 14 games, had 112 tackles leading the Vikings, had 8 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks, and 11 quarterback hits, 8 passes defended, and a fumble recovery. Pretty solid PFF scores if you're into that thing.
I got a question.
Okay.
Didn't you have enough time to put a player picture up with these stats?
No, I did. As you could tell from the first slide, no, I didn't.
Okay. Blake Cashman. What? I don't see it.
So, Fish, how did your perception on Blake Cashman change from when we first signed him to the end of the season?
Okay. I actually wasn't that bad against Blake Cashman. I was just mad because Jordan Hicks did. I hated Jordan Hicks. And then he played like a demon. And so I was like, hell yeah. And they were like, bye, Jordan. Blake Cashman. I'm like, I was just starting to like Hicks. I'm glad to see he's back. I'm glad to see we got him for one more year. He played really well. There was an obvious difference in the defense when he was out those few games. He might even have been the heart and soul of the defense last year. Like, we still played okay, but there was a real difference when he was out. I'm glad he's back. I think he's going to get recognized by midseason this year, where he will start to get talked about as one of the better interior linebackers in the league.
I like it. I don't know that he'll get talked about because he's a Viking, but he'll definitely deserve to be talked about. And no doubt about it, he was the heart of this defense. When he was out, it was noticeable. He was out for that first. He was out for the first Lions game and the Rams game, which we lost both of those games. I think we were 13-1 in games that he played. You knew when he was out there.
Yeah, he's like Greenard. What I said earlier about Greenard. This the every man's man. You know, the linebacker that's out there. He's on every play when he's on the field. And it made sense of them signing over here because you need that within the core, right? Because you just drafted a rookie. You needed 2 veterans out there that are going to be on every single play. And, yeah, Blake Cashman, solid inside linebacker.
After that, we got Ivan Pace, 24 years old, already entering his 3rd season. That was crazy. Like, when I first was writing this up, I was like, entering his 2nd season. I went back to look at his stats. Like, wait, oh, shit, 3rd season. It's going fast. Last year, he started 10 games, played in 11. He missed 6 due to injury. In 2023, he played every game. He has 72 tackles in his career, 7 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. 1 pass defended and 1 fumble recovery. There was a glorious touchdown against the Lions where we almost did it, just like the Vikings, almost doing it. And sorry, I said that was for his career. These were his stats from last year. PFF solid. Look at that pass rush, number 4 out of 189. Run defense, 14 out of 189. And then pass coverage, he was one of the worst. Like, this is worse than Ed Ingram blocking.
34 is kind of hard to beat.
What can we say? He's short.
Mm-hmm. But
I mean, is that what you're going to put it on, his size? Or is it just the ability?
Probably a little bit of both.
And the problem with it is he's a great pass rusher, but not a coverage guy. So it's like, okay, we'll take him out on obvious passing downs. Wait, no, you're not, because he's a pass rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've been seeing that during this offseason. A lot of pass rush has come from the interior, right? And we have those 2 big dudes in Hargrave and Allen in the interior. But B-Flow is sending Ivan Pace through that interior also, and he's been getting McCarthy a lot this offseason. I think B-Flow sees this and realizes, hey, I can put Blake Cashman back there and he'd be the pass coverage guy, but I'm going to send that middle linebacker out there. And you got Kobe King, who's a good linebacker too, that I think if it's not a pass rush down, you can put Kobe King back there instead of Ivan Pace.
So here's the thing, right? We now will be able to, or should be able to, get pressure without having to blitz our interior linemen up the middle. And I think this works against Pace.
It does.
And might actually be a benefit to a player like Kobe King or Brian Asamoah, where they will get to play because they are better at pass coverage.
I would send a linebacker up the middle with that press, because the faster the pressure, the better.
Oh, I think we'll be able to get some pretty fast interior pressure without it, and we won't need to.
I mean, you're going to see both. You're going to see both.
Mm-hmm.
It's Brian Flores. He's going to sit in the house.
Send Pace and drop Hargrave into coverage. Hell yeah.
Like Shaq said, that's just going to help Pace get there even faster. Like, you're going to see more tackles for loss and more sacks. He had 3 sacks last year. Maybe he gets 6 this year.
Yeah, and you got to think they're probably going to double team one of Hargrave or Allen. That's going to open up a huge hole.
Which is going to open up a lane.
Yep, and that's what I'm wanting to see from this kid.
I just hope he can also meet linebackers at the line too and not get run over. You talk about his size.
I mean, the thing is, I guess what I'm saying is I'm hoping we don't have to blitz as much. I'm hoping that the zero blitz is only for this is the make or breakdown, where instead it was we had to do that shit just to get pressure up the middle. And if we don't have to do it as much, then Mr. Pace, he's not going to be out there as much.
Well, the Vikings were obviously happy with him because they didn't go out there and make a big move to go get an interior linebacker. They signed Eric Wilson back.
Kobe King, man.
They drafted Kobe King in the 6th round, the end of the 6th round. So they didn't do too much to like bring in competition for him. There's no doubt about it. Blake Cashman and Ivan Pace are our starting interior linebackers. I just said we did sign Eric Wilson. I did a little photoshopping to get him in a Viking uniform. I didn't. He played for the Vikings 2017 to 2020. In 2020, he actually had a really good year with us, 122 tackles, 3 sacks, 8 passes defended, and 2 fumble recoveries, which ended up getting him paid elsewhere. Last year, he started 12 games for the Packers, played 17 of them, 72 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, 4 quarterback hits. Very similar stats to what Ivan Pace had. He had 2 passes defended and an interception. The PFF's not as great as Pace's, but the stats almost identical. This guy's going to be a veteran presence. Probably come in and take the Grugier Hill spot. So if one of the linebackers do miss a spot, he'll step in. Probably play a lot of special teams. 31 years old.
It's kind of a trend here with these PFF scores and the low pass coverage. Like, hey, I don't give a shit if you go cover a pass. You're blitzing.
I mean, he just chinned the bar, and he's in the top half of the league at least.
I mean, he's not at the end.
Yeah.
So Eric Wilson, that's somebody that, we'll see a little bit. We saw a fair amount of Grugier Hill last year, but a lot of that had to do with Ivan Pace being out for 6 games. Hopefully we don't have to see him too much, but I have confidence when he gets in there, he'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the battle. I don't think both of these guys make the team. We got Brian Asamoah, 25 years old. He's not entering his 4th season. He only has 188 career defensive snaps in 3 seasons. That's crazy because 119 of them came that rookie year of 2022. So he's only had 70 snaps over the last 2 seasons on the defensive side of the ball.
When you get in beef post doghouse, you ain't escaping. There's no escape from the doghouse. When you're in it, you're in it.
Now, he's been pretty good on special teams. He played 802 special team snaps in his career. And last year, he had a good PFF for special teams, 39 out of 224. I don't think that's enough to make the roster. I don't think there's any guy that's going to make this team over just being a good special teamer. Like, we don't have an all-pro special teamer on this roster. Anyone could be replaced in that aspect. The fact that he's only played 69 defensive snaps, I think he's as good as gone as Ty Chandler.
Brian Asamoah is my first cut. I think there's undrafted free agents that we think are going to get cut that will make the team before Brian Asamoah.
And you got Kobe King, 22 years old. He was drafted in the 6th round of this draft. Last year, he was a 2nd team All Big Ten selection. He was a team captain, started all 16 games, 97 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. Played at a good school, Penn State. And his twin brother, Kalen, plays for the Packers. So how cool could that rivalry end up being? But I think Kobe King is going into the preseason with a better chance of making this roster than Asamoah. And they're going to battle it out still, though. They're still going to battle it out. But I think right now, I'll just give the edge to Kobe King because he's 3 years younger. They just drafted him. They've seen what they need to see from Asamoah. It's probably not going to get any better. He's not going to turn into the starting linebacker. Kobe King, he might.
2 crazy things. We got a 6th round draft pick that's going to be the 3rd round draft pick. And in that rookie season, Brian Asamoah looked like the biggest, most athletic person out on the field when he did get those snaps. It's just amazing that Ivan Pace came on board and took that spot from him. It's amazing.
I mean, he's going to lose his spot to a UDFA and a 6th rounder.
Yeah.
So, and I had a lot of hope for him when we drafted him. I really thought he was going to turn into a starting middle linebacker for us, was going to be here for a long time. I think he's gone. I don't think whether we get Asamoah or Kobe King that it's going to change our grading. I messed up again, didn't I?
Oh,
Yep.
let's roll.
So this is what our interior linebackers are going to look like.
Nasty.
I like it. Shaq already gave his grade. He graded this a B. Also, one is a bust, Alex. There ain't no doubt about it. I'm calling him a bust. Michael Fish, what do you grade our interior linebackers?
I'm gonna go B also.
You thought about the A, didn't you? You weren't thinking about
No,
a
I
C.
was thinking about C.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Gave you the benefit of the doubt. My bad. Cody, what are you going with?
So I said the linebacker core in a whole, including the outside, is going to be a top 5, which it has to be an A. If I said a B, it'd be they're not top 5 because both units have to be an A. I'm going to go A because I believe that this whole core as a whole will be a top 5 unit. So I'm going A just for that.
We got T-Bass with a C. We got our buddy George Blunt going with a C plus, which I could see why they're going there, but I'm going with the B as well. It's close to an A. I'd probably go B plus, but we don't do the plus and minus. If Cashman and Pace stay healthy, I feel very, very comfortable with what we got there. I think it's way above average. It's not top 5 in my opinion as far as interior linebackers. I think they could be a B, and we could still end up with a top 5 linebacking core though, because I have a lot of faith in our outside linebackers, which we'll talk about. So we're going to finish that one off. We're giving our interior linebackers a B, but Cody's going to hold on to that A. And when these guys both make the Pro Bowl, he'll throw that back in our face.
Been saying that for a while for Ivan Pace.
Yeah, you try to give Ivan Pace a first team All Pro.
Not.
I can't hate it though. I can't hate it. All right, so now we're going to talk about the outside linebackers and edges, starting with Jonathan Grenard, who was number 48 on the top 100 players this week. 28 years old, so he still got some years left with us. He's one of those guys probably play strong until he's 34, 35. So I like that. Might have to work on his contract soon. This is his 6th season, second with the Vikings. Last year, he started all 17 games, had 12 sacks, only a half sack behind his career high of 12 and a half in 2023. 59 tackles, 41 of those were solo. 18 of them were for a loss. He had 22 quarterback hits, 4 forced fumbles, 3 passes defended, and was a 2024 Pro Bowler and 11th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. If he had played for like the Chiefs or the Cowboys, he'd been a lot closer to a top 5 in Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Down there, I got the PFF scores, and really small to the right, I got Danielle Hunter scores. And you can see, man, they were basically the same player last year.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't see it, the run defense for Grenard was 70.3, Hunter 70.1. Pass rush, Grenard was 80, Hunter 80.7. Overall defense, Grenard 80.8, Hunter 82.7. And Grenard played, 150 more snaps. He played the 3rd most snaps out of any outside linebacker or edge. Dude was a beast. Mm-hmm. And I think was probably the best free agency signing that we made last year. And it was a good one. We got Van Ginkel. We got Cashman. I think Grenard was the biggest hit.
100%. I think he's more of a team captain than what Hunter has ever been since Hunter was on the Vikings. In 1 year, Jonathan Grenard, I think, took command of that defensive locker room. And Hunter spent, 7 years here and didn't even command that kind of team captain thing, I think, in my opinion.
What up, Purple Jesus? And I think, Shaq, you're saying this because you became attached to Danielle Hunter, so I don't blame you for that. But I don't think we missed a beat with Jonathan Grenard, which I was worried about that. When we signed, I went back and looked at his career and saw, okay, this guy might be able to, do some of the stuff Danielle did. But he did everything Danielle did, and we didn't miss a beat. It would be hard for me to say. I mean, I guess I would take Hunter because of the legacy, too, of him being here, and we drafted him. But it's a freaking coin flip. honestly.
Actually, I think that what we acknowledged last year was this: that one thing that Grenard did was he showed up in crucial periods of time during the game and made plays. Versus Hunter, it's like, in the first quarter and the score's tied and he gets his sack, but Jonathan Grenard got that in like the fourth.
I still don't agree that Robbie's saying that Darnold was the best free agency signing last year, and I wholeheartedly disagree with that.
Hey, Shaq, you sure you would take Hunter's contract?
No. He said they were paid the same, which they're not. Hunter's paid.
They're not. It's not. He just signed a 1-year extension for $35.6 million. Like, Hunter is getting paid, but
yeah. To be fair, after the season,
account.
Yeah, no, it's because Robbie said something nice about Sam Darnold. Even though Robbie just slandered Shaq all last week, they're best friends again. Then we got the gangster, 30 years old, 7 seasons, second with the Vikings last year. He started all 17 games, which was the first time he did that in his career. Had 11.5 sacks last year. Before that, he had 16.5 for his career. That's in 5 seasons. Last year, 79 tackles, 50 solo, 18 for loss, 19 quarterback hits, 4 forced fumbles, 6 passes defended, 2 interceptions, both pick sixes, second team All-Pro, and a Pro Bowler. For as great as he was, the PFF sucked. That's why I have a hard time with PFF. It's like, what did he not do that wasn't great? But he got second team All-Pro at his position. But you're telling me he was 112th ranked.
Highlights. I mean, didn't Deron Bland, the guy that broke the interception for touchdown record, and then what's his name? Diggs' brother got first team All-Pro, but he still gave up over 1,000 receiving yards. So
yeah,
highlights got him that.
No, Van Ginkel, I mean, I would say he's almost as good of a signing as Grenard, but he is a little bit older. And if I had to pick one of them to keep, I'm keeping Grenard.
Mm-hmm.
But a solid signing. Last year's free agency, one of the best that we've had. And if you noticed, Grenard was third in snaps for linebackers and edges in the NFL. Van Ginkel was second. And then you're like, why didn't Danielle Hunter play?
Or Dallas Turner.
Oh, yeah, Dallas Turner. Why didn't Dallas Turner play? These guys played the second and third most snaps at their position. That's what he was behind. And then you also have Patrick Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So, solid. And then you have Dallas Turner, who looks like he's gotten a little bigger than he is in this picture. It looks like he's been working out with Jalen Naylor. He's been making a splash in training camp as much as you can make a splash in training camp. Last year, he did play in 16 of the 17 games. He missed 1 due to injury. He had 3 sacks quietly, only 20 tackles, 5 quarterback hits, and he did have an interception, which has Michael Fish thinking, man, this guy could be playing safety. So I think we expected more out of him being a first-round pick and all the draft capital we gave up for him. But when we did that, I don't think they expected Van Ginkel to be what he ended up being. Mm-hmm. So, hindsight's 2020. If they would have known that, they probably wouldn't have done this. They probably wouldn't have gone with Dallas Turner. But that's fine. He's still younger than a lot of the rookies this season, and Van Ginkel is older. Do you still think we can get that first-round talent out of him?
100%. I mean, he's a rookie last year, and it's the same thing with J.J. McCarthy. The expectations so fucking high for a guy, right? We're gonna get it. He still needs time to develop. He's 22 years old, like McCarthy, right? Most of these guys coming out in the league are like 24 years old, right? They're already ahead of the curve. So I think, I'm perfectly fine with Dallas Turner's snap count. He's still in development phase, right? He's still got a lot of work to do. But so did Danielle Hunter, but we drafted him in the 3rd round. But he was still super young and raw. I think Dallas Turner is just still raw. A lot of development still needs to go.
What about you, Fish? You think Dallas Turner can end up being one of those guys that's getting 12 to 15 sacks in a season?
Absolutely. And the main reason is because, look, I'll say his name right, Chris Kringle, whatever it is. what he did last year was the outlier. He played the whole season. He played the second most snaps. The chances are pretty high he's going to miss some time this season. And if he misses time, he might Isaiah Rodgers it and never get his job back. Because Dallas Turner is going to come in and say, just let me introduce myself.
That's pretty high praise. Is there another game going on right now or no?
Yeah, 9 p.m. Oh, yeah, it's another game going on right now.
Raiders and Seahawks, yep.
I'll go back and watch them tonight probably. I actually went back and watched that Lions and Chargers game after the show last week. Actually a pretty fun watch. But yeah, I still have high hopes. Yeah, that made it a fun watch.
Yeah.
And Trey Lance, man, I don't think you can write him off yet. He looked pretty good.
Looked like an NFL QB, didn't he?
He did. I mean, he still barely plays many college games as most college quarterbacks. So, I mean, even if you count his NFL games, like he doesn't have a lot of experience under him, so he's still learning. And, you got Gabe Murphy, who was a UDFA in 2024. Last year, he found his way into 2 games, which is pretty incredible because he started the season on the PUP list and missed 11 games. And then after those 11 games, they cut him and then put him on the practice squad. And then he got called up from the practice squad and actually, got some snaps in. Didn't really do anything with him. Not worried about it. The fact is, he worked his way from UDFA, from the injury list, to the practice squad to make it up to the roster and get some game time. So he's one that I'll be watching on Saturday, as well as Bo Richter. I think we were all pretty high on Bo Richter, from especially what we saw from him in the preseason. The guy's a beast. 25 years old. He's entering his second season as well. Last year, he got to play in 14 games. Most of it was some special teams. But, I think we are stacked at the outside linebacker and edge position.
I'm mad Gabriel Murphy didn't get a start last year. Still mad about it.
Yeah, you had a hot take on that.
Yeah, I sure did.
I think we're going to see a lot of Murphy and a lot of Richter on Saturday, and I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Dallas Turner get a lot of run.
Yes. I think
almost like we saw Lewis Cine play so much that had me believing that Lewis Cine was actually going to make the roster last year.
Until he cowered in place.
I was like, oh, wait, they're just showcasing to try to get a 7th rounder for him. Let's see. Then you got Tyler Batty and Chaz Chambliss, who have a very, very outside chance of making this roster over maybe Gabriel or Richter, which I doubt it. But they should get a lot of run on Saturday too. Yeah, I didn't update that. So this room looks nasty. Feeling good about our defense, Alex? Me too, man. Me too. I feel good about our offense too. I really do. I feel good about this team, and that scares me that I feel good. Shaq already graded this one. He gave it an A. Hey, Bob, that's what I said about Bo last year. He reminded me of the way John Randall played the game. Like, not as good, not the skill set, but he had that motor, and he won more with his motor than his skill. Kind of, did remind me of John Randall a little bit. Cody, did I see you giving this an A?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, you have to, right?
Yep. I mean, this is a triple A if it was a B last time.
All right. Mike Fish?
That picture, man, Gabriel Murphy looked like he getting ready to murder somebody.
He does. He does.
I like that. See, the two on the right, I get it. It's a team picture. It's,
class picture day.
Class picture day. But I mean, looking at the other guys, it's like, yeah, you don't look like killers. Gabriel Murphy looks like he belongs in prison. Obvious A. And the thing is like the reason I couldn't give our inside linebackers an A was because once you got past the first two, it was like,
Okay.
here you're getting down to 4 or 5 before you're starting to go. I think that we could have a game where Gabriel Murphy and Bo Richter were our starting edge rushers, and they could get 3 or 4 sacks in that game.
Alex really wants to put this into existence on Hard Knocks. I wouldn't mind us being on Hard Knocks. I know Cody said no team's ever gone on to win the Super Bowl, but I really don't believe in stuff like that. I would like, that behind the scene looks. Like, I enjoyed seeing Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson on the quarterback and receiver show. Definitely wouldn't mind it. I do think there were other seasons that had a little more turmoil. I think they would have been more exciting to watch. Right now, you got KOC and the whole kumbaya type thing, so it really might not be that interesting, and that's probably why they're not getting called.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it an A. They're getting an A. That's an A group. We've given a lot of A's, guys. We're some freaking homers. Yes, we have. We've given, I think, all A's, a B, and a C.
Who's the B?
Homers. I think the B was running backs.
It kind of makes sense.
The C was the quarterbacks.
Because everything is built around that quarterback position. So it's like, it does make sense.
We're falling right in line with who did it last week, where they said that our quarterback room was ranked 24th in the league. Our running backs were ranked 17th. And every other position group we had was top 10, with our front 7 being number 1 in the league. And we're right in line with that level of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we gave the running backs a B, but yeah. You guys got Gjallarhorn questions?
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Cody, you seem excited. Hit us with it.
I'm just going to keep going with the narrative. Like, how mad will this fan base be if whether or not about JJ McCarthy, if it's not a Super Bowl? Let's say Jim McCarthy comes out during the season, lights it up, makes the playoffs, loses first round. JJ McCarthy comes in the playoff or comes in the season, we don't make the playoffs. Like, is it a lose-lose situation for JJ McCarthy for about, let's say, 70% of this fan base? Like, are they going to find that one thing that knocks JJ McCarthy out of the water?
You kind of had me until you said 70%. I don't think it's 70%. But yeah, no, he's definitely between a rock and a hard place, because this is a tough fan base for any player, because we always have high expectations. We're never really a sucky team, but we've never won, man. There's a lot of angst, and he's brought in to kind of be that savior, which is not fair to put on him, but that's what it is. So if he comes in and doesn't make the playoffs, it's kind of like the meme. You better not be the fucking reason that we didn't do what we're supposed to do, because they have put a great team around him, and they said no thank you to Sam Darnold coming back. They said no thank you to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers might have been a good piece if it's like, okay, we're trying to do this for one season. So, yeah, man, he really has to come out here and do close to what Jaden Daniels did. Maybe not do what Jaden Daniels did, but he's going to have to do close to it. Or, yeah, I think I'm not going to say they're going to turn on him, but it might get kind of Kirky.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. A little Kirky.
It's like he might end up being like that divisive figure like Kirk Cousins. You think this fan base is going to turn on him, Fish, after one season if it doesn't go great?
I think the fan base could turn on him after one game.
Yeah.
And that's that Seattle game. If Sam Darnold balls out and he doesn't, I think the fan base could have that recency bias and be like, we let him walk.
What if they
Sam Darnold's even starting by then?
What if they both ball out and Seattle still wins?
I'm just saying that's the game that could, if they both ball out, and the Seattle wins, that it's gonna get muddy. But I mean, if Sam Darnold has a great game and JJ doesn't, that's your direct comparison right there.
Mm-hmm. I only bring up the question because I think this year it has to be a Super Bowl or bust because 2026 comes. We're over the cap by 65 million in 2026.
Don't worry, Robert.
Sky's not falling. Sky's yeah, don't worry about that.
Well, I mean, that's going to take. There's going to be the team. That's going to be a lot of cuts. That's going to happen to save that money.
Steve Bass, I want a year of learning progression from him, and so do I. But that's why he's in a hard place right now, though. It's because he really is not going to get that grace from this fan base because of the team that we've kind of put together. This is kind of a win now season, and if he's the reason we don't win now, it's going to be hard for this fan base to be okay with that.
Yeah, because the player, the talent that we have on this team this year is going to be way less than we have next year.
More. Next year we're going to have less talent.
Yeah, but next year we're going to have less talent. Yeah, just that. So we're over the cap by almost 70 million. Like we're 68.
So like he can have a solid like season for like a first year quarterback, by historical standards, and still get shit on because we didn't win a playoff game.
Yep.
So his expectations are much higher than a lot of first year starting quarterbacks that have never taken a snap. The expectations are very high. So it will be easy. And we're a very reactionary fan base. I mean, I haven't hung out with too many other fan bases for an extended period of time, and maybe it's the same for all teams, but we're very reactionary. It's what did you do for me lately?
Mm-hmm.
What do you got for us, Fish?
Pick one or the other, whichever one you want, okay? Saturday's game. Pick a player that you think will significantly raise his stock, or pick a player that you think will significantly sink his stock in Saturday's game. One or the other. Go ahead, Keith.
I mean, I'm trying not to go with the one that I said earlier, but I'm going to go with the one I said earlier, and I think it's going to be Xavier Scott. I think he's going to come in and raise his stock. I think there's still a lot of Viking fans who don't know that name, and I think by the end of this game, they're going to know that name, and they're going to be calling for him, and I think Ty Chandler is going to lose any support that he has left from this fan base. So, Xavier Scott. For sure, Bob.
I'm going to go Jalen Naylor just because of the whole offseason. Dude's had brick for hands. So I think if he shows out, especially without JJ being on the field, he shows out that he could be a wide receiver 2 instead of stuck in that wide receiver 3. And that he shows he can snag handles, his stock will rise to the roof. Especially when the season does start, we're missing Addison for 3 years. That preseason game and the preseason game following on, and he continues to do what he does, and he's just snagging or catches the ball, then Addison might be tradable. Jalen Naylor might be the guy that we can sign for a lot cheaper. So that's the stock guy up.
I hate that scenario. I hear you, but I hate that scenario. All right. So I know that we hate the Packers the most in this division. Like, there's no question about that. But if you had to pick either the Lions or the Packers to finish last place in the division this year, which one would you pick to finish last place in the division, Cody?
Packers. Just fuck the Packers.
Enough said. What about you, Michael Fish?
Lions.
Because you've been having fun?
They need to be
humbled.
I mean, the Packers, I want the Packers to be like that middle of the road. They've got a good quarterback, but not a great one. I want them to be that middle of the road, kind of that world we've been living in where they're not good. They're not bad enough to get a great player to change their team for the better. And they're not good enough to make the Super Bowl or make any kind of a playoff run. I want them to have that existence. I want them to see some purgatory for about, 1 or 2 decades, just to make up for having 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks for the last 30-something years. So I want them to have mediocrity, and I want the Lions fans to get humbled. They can turn around and be pretty good the next year, but yeah, I think okay, you guys had a couple good years. Now get humbled and then reset. But I want the Packers to be absolutely mediocre for a long time.
I'm gonna also go with the Lions for everything Fish has said. I could just play it back, and that's all I got to say about that. Alex, why the Bears? I mean, they're gonna slowly becoming the lovable losers. Well, not with Caleb there.
I like the Lions a lot, but I think the Lions are destined to go back in the basement. The Packers are just good every fucking year, and I just want to see them down there.
And then we got this one, fellas. I haven't looked at it yet.
It's good. Let's go podcast.
Why isn't it showing?
And make it this week, but I do have a Gjallarhorn question. My Gjallarhorn question is: the Minnesota Vikings last year had 24 turnovers caused by the secondary. Do you think the Minnesota Vikings will have more turnovers or less turnovers this year? Let me know. Also answer in the chat too.
All right, so last year our secondary created 24 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with
That's
less.
a lot.
The reason I'm gonna go with less is because our sack production is gonna go way up. They won't have as many opportunities to pick the ball.
That's fair.
That's a solid.
Damn, 24? That's a lot. And what did Byron Murphy have? 7 interceptions?
He said turnovers.
Yeah.
From the secondary.
Fumbles secondary, though. Well, no, yeah, fumbles. Damn. That's a lot. I'm sorry. I'm going under 2. Cody, tell us why you're going over.
I gotta look these stats. How many defensive fumbles did Minnesota have compared to interceptions last year? That'd be a good thing to relate to this. But I'm going up because I love the front 7 that we have now. I think our front 7 is going to bring the pressure. I think the sacks, like Fish said, that's kind of putting a wrench in this whole situation. But I think the opportunities will come even more, right? We're not going to see the defense falter late in halves to where they're giving up a lot of passing yards. I think it's the pressure is going to be gas pedal to the floor. We're coming. Make a play on us, all right? Make stupid decisions. I think we're going to be more opportunistic with the ball. And I also want to say we're going to probably have more fumble recoveries, strip sacks this year than interceptions.
More strip sacks and interceptions?
More strip sacks, more fumbles in general than interceptions. Just I believe in the hitters that are on this team right now.
I was just doing some quick looking here. We had 16 interceptions from the secondary.
Secondary? I'm going to look at the fumbles.
So there must have been 8 fumbles recovered. Unless he's counting, unless he was counting the linebackers as part of the secondary. I mean, I'm going under 24, but I could see the over for the same reason you guys are saying about the line. Like, there's just going to be more pressure. They're going to be throwing more air balls. I mean, the safeties might feast.
Mm-hmm. And we do play a lot of mobile quarterbacks this year. Mobile quarterbacks love to fumble the ball.
Okay. All right, we're going to do our hot takes, and then if anybody wants to jump on and give their takes, we'll make a little bit of time for that before we get out of here. But, before we do that, Shaq Smith ain't nothing. We'll figure it out, Tommy. We'll get that information to you, boss. It could have been overall. All right. So, hi, Cody.
All right, my hot take.
No, not yet. No.
Let me know.
I got a clip to make here. I need you looking. All right, let's go ahead and get into these hot takes. Who's ready? All right, Cody, go for it.
So I brought up Kobe King as being the player of the game for Saturday. My hot take is going to be Kobe King is going to have 3 highlight plays during this Saturday, whether it come from the hardest hit you've ever seen known to man, a fumble recovery for a touchdown, or an interception for a touchdown. Right, he's going to have 3 highlight plays, and I hope it's going to be that hard hit, fumble recovery for a touchdown, and an interception for a touchdown. That is my hot take for this week.
Yeah, you're gonna make it pressure on me to get this video clipped. All right, Fish, what's your hot take?
Bear with me a second. He just really destroyed my hot take. Hold on.
Oh, you were going Kobe King?
Yeah. I was going to
Really?
say Kobe King. I was going to say Kobe King was going to force a fumble in the preseason game. Okay, ready. First touchdown scored by the Minnesota Vikings will be J.J. McCarthy to Ty Felton.
Coming from you, Fish. All right, well, I know we talked about things, but mine is not going to be preseason related. Mine's going to be related to an argument I had with a Bears fan. And that is, despite being suspended for 3 games this year, Jordan Addison will have more receiving yards than any Bears wide receiver this year.
That is pretty hot. The handoff.
Shots fired.
Yeah. Bears fans jumping into Lion Viking conversations, and that turned into talking crap about Jordan Addison. And
That's why the comments went up from 100 to 300.
I try to get them to. I was like, all right, let's make a bet. But it's hard to bet strangers on the internet. So the next best thing I could do was come on here and make it a hot take, so I can at least put it on record that I believe Jordan Addison will have more receiving yards than any Bears wide receiver, even with missing the 3 games. Tanya.
Ooh, Tommy coming in with some spice.
Man, that means he played a lot.
Yeah, that's 4 series. That's a quarter and a half, maybe.
All right, so I have put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come on real quick and give their thoughts about training camp or about this upcoming preseason game, we'll give you guys a few minutes to do that. Keep Michael Fish up just a little bit later. I'm not going to work tomorrow, so I mean, if you guys really just want to get this thing cracking, we could do that. T-Bass, what's up, man?
What up, T-Bass?
Hey, guys. Hey, okay, this is kind of a question or maybe an opinion on you guys. Talking about our GM. He's an analytical guy, okay? So I was thinking about this the other day. Is it easier for an analytical guy to be successful in free agency, crunching numbers from players that are actually played NFL games and has NFL stats, than drafting because he's crunching numbers and stats from a college career? That's my.
I think so, because it translates more than college. I think for college, you actually have to watch and know what you're watching. You could look at stats all you want, but it doesn't translate. Some of the best guys in college that have records, in yards, they come into the NFL and can't do anything. So I think, yeah, what they've done in the NFL translates more than what they've done in college.
And I agree with you, and that's my thinking why he thinks about draft.
The proof is in the pudding. Our guy's great at free agency, and he's an asset. He's asset drafting. So,
yeah, and I think that may be the reason, because you're crunching 2 different types of numbers. Players.
So I agree with. I think Quessy is more in the free agent wise with analytical. I think he does better there just because of that. But in 2023, we hired 4 new college scouts. I don't know if anybody knew that, right? And you saw the difference, basically night and day from 2023 and on. We kept the same college scouts from 2023. I think for draft wise, you got to lean on those college scouts, lean on the personnel you have. And I think after the 2020 debundle, what we just went through, 2023 with the hiring of new scouts brought us in a new position, made Quessy look a lot better drafting as of recently.
Well, yeah, I still I've never been thrilled with any of his drafts yet. Yeah, Addison, the guy here, there. They've all. I mean, we have to start building through the draft. Building through free agency is
I agree. Absolutely have to start building through the draft because after this season, you're going to see that we don't have a lot of depth, and that's because we don't have a lot of young guys.
Yeah, and we trade picks away all the time. You know, y'all were talking about, trade for Thielen. That I want to go into a draft where the Vikings are drafting every round. Every round. I just want to see them with a lot of draft. Get on. I'm not real high on Blackman. I think he's going to be another Irv Smith Jr. Wait till next year. It's his breakout year. Wait till next year. I just not high on the guy.
I think Blackman played good his rookie year, so I think that's kind of messed up, but I hear you.
We gotta. Well, I think he played all right. Great, but we got to start hitting on the draft. I mean, we've been terrible even before Quincy, and last couple of years. That year was Spellman when we had 4 third-round picks, and the next year, 3 of them weren't even on already. That's I was excited about that. Your draft, Chad Surratt stuff.
That trash throwout was goofy.
Yeah,
Right, well,
hey, thanks for showing up. Your mic was kind of off, kind of like Quessie's 2022 draft, but it was breaking out.
See you, buddy.
All right, T-Baz. Timmy, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? It's been a while.
It's been a while. How you doing?
Our best cheerleader.
I know. Hey, you got to be a cheerleader somehow, It's off season, so we're just.
Timmy, what do you think about the off season we're having?
I think we're having a good off season. JJ's doing, up and down, having mistakes and learning from his mistakes and stuff in the mini camp and the OTAs and he's just bringing everything in and just he's learning everything that NFL player needs to learn from the mistakes and do everything better the next time that he throws the ball or a pass or so.
Yeah. He can't be successful at everything he does. He has to have some adversity and go through it, right? That's what he's going to learn from and get better.
Yep.
What are you most excited to see in the preseason game? I know you'll be watching.
I'm going to say see how the defense holds up. That's the biggest part is that we're still trying to get the 53 roster set up.
So the defense, you want to see what's going on there?
Yep.
Yeah, we need to see because we don't have a lot of depth right now. So hopefully we're wrong and we do.
I think we'll have a running game this year. I think with the trenches kind of built up a little bit. Gives us more of a chance of a running game.
What do you think about that, Cody? Run a little bit more this year.
Yeah, I love it. Run the fucking football. I'll say it till the day I die.
Because the only way we're going to win a Super Bowl is have a run. We have to have a running game plus a passing game. At the same time that we can get the ball down to the red zone.
And I think that the big narrative is with KOC, right? His play calling, and they're like, well, his plays are developing way too long. Well, last year we saw Jordan Addison open a shit ton of times that the ball kind of came out of the pocket in 2 seconds, right? But Sam Darnold got, ever since that Niner game where he launched it and it went for a 95-yard touchdown pass, it felt like afterwards it was I need to hold the ball and just get the biggest play out every single time. We would have been more successful if we just dumped the ball off. And we all hate Kirk Cousins checkdowns, right? But I would like to see some of them checkdowns this year from JJ McCarthy. Honestly, get the ball.
I think I think JJ is going to get some of the play calling too. Just so KOC is not doing it all. I think he's going to give JJ McCarthy a chance of running some of the plays by himself.
Because I hated last year. We first down, we try to throw a deep pass. We're 2nd and 10, and we're behind the sticks already. All right, well, maybe a check down. We're 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Right? Okay. Now we have 2 options. We can run the ball. We get closer to that goal line. Now we're 2 yards away. Now we have all the choices. Can we throw a deep ball here on 3rd and 2? Can we throw a check down or a slant route on 3rd and 2, or just run the ball for the first down? That's what I want to see out of the KOC scheme.
But I think if we get in the red zone, I think we're going to run the ball in instead of throwing it all the time. So we can.
Well, know what I want to see out of the KOC scheme? A damn swing pass.
Yeah, either that. Bring it out.
A swing pass, by God, where the running back catches the ball with his pads out in front of him instead of with his back to the defense, where he then has to turn and try to make a play.
Our tallest receiver, I think, might be your boy Lucky Jackson.
It's not Jefferson?
George. I don't think so. I think it's Lucky.
I know people were saying we should bring back Powell because he knows the offense. We already have Powell. We have a.
But I think Lucky will be more. I think Lucky will be more special teams and stuff too. At the same time, that he's covering for Addison.
Yeah. George actually asked me to look this up. Oh, it is.
And the answer to what T-Bass said earlier about 3rd or 4th in progression, that comes down to pre-snap reads. If you can read what the defense is doing, then you know where to go. One of the things, I'm so glad Cody came around on this because he was arguing so much with us last year about it, was Sam Darnold was looking at Addy and then would look away from him and he would break open. And if he had a better early read on it, he would know that Addison was about to break open and be able to deliver the ball, or any receiver. If you can see the coverage and you can read it pre-snap, then you can tell based on the route he's going to run, he's going to break open at this point.
I was going with he was already open. Like Addison was wide open, and Darnold looked at him.
Yeah, Darnold holding on to the ball got Ed Ingram traded, man.
And I think it dealt with maybe a talk with KOC. Says, hey, look for the big shot. Look for that thing, sling it. He wants a gunslinger out there, and I just don't think that's how it should. If you see it, throw the ball.
I know why you said that, Keith, but the fact of the matter is, several of those Darnold sacks were with him holding the ball for like 7 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He got Ed Ingram fired on his day off.
Mm-hmm.
He had more time to throw than any. He had more time to throw than any other quarterback in the NFL, but it was an offensive line problem we had.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Garrett Bradbury and
I just don't get why didn't Sam Darnold throw the ball
like Randall and
wide open Jordan Addison. Like he saw him wide open.
What's up, Brian? So, Timmy, you are going to watch the game on Saturday, right?
I'm watching the game, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll be watching
you guys
the
that don't
game.
know, for you that don't know, we are the NFL Network game, so it'll be broadcast nationally. See, JJ McCarthy already paying dividends. They wouldn't be playing that game if it wasn't for JJ McCarthy.
I think we'll go. I think most of our offense will go back to. If we get the running game going, I think we'll go. First 2 downs will be two running plays, and then a pass play on the 3 and 4, like we used to.
I don't think JJ will get sacked much, Tanya. I don't think he's going to get sacked much because we went out and got that offensive line. We went and paid money for that. And Cody has a hot take that he'll be one of the 5 least sacked quarterbacks. He's also mobile, so he'll be able to get himself out of some situations. And he's not mobile as in the fact he's going to be looking to take off all the time. he's going to be like Case Keenum, mobile enough to get away from the pressure and still make the throw down the field. Drink.
I don't have anything to drink. I'd be holding up an empty bottle.
just think you're drinking something.
Do you guys like Cody's new hat?
It looks awesome, buddy.
The golf glove.
Everyone's dogging on the sideline hats this year. I think
Actually, kind of, you know, Cody, when you put your head down like that,
JJ's design there, buddy.
Hey, I hate to say it, looks like those things they have in the urinal. They look like those mats in the urinal.
I
Fresh cakes.
I like the I don't like the square one. The rectangular where it says Vikings across it. It looks good. I don't like the
that was a $4 patch instead of a $3 patch.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna see JJ running the ball out. T-Bats, like I said, like he's mobile, but he's not mobile in the sense that he's gonna be looking to run the ball. He's gonna be mobile in the sense of he can make an evading defender miss and then still make a throw.
Mm-hmm.
If he has to run, he will.
Or throws the ball away.
3rd and 5 in the 4th quarter. He's gonna run that ball.
All right, send Blanche my love. All right, fellas. So since nobody else wants to jump on, I think we're going to get out of here after Timmy. Go ahead, Timmy.
But I think we have to see what Donovan Jackson does this weekend too, to kind of see how he works out.
Oh, I know Fish will be very interested in watching that. But yeah,
I think everybody's going to be watching that because he was drafted in the 1st round. So
you damn right, Timmy. You damn right.
It wasn't a reach. Thank you, George. Appreciate that.
We'll see you there.
Love you guys. See you guys this weekend sometime. Maybe.
Yeah, we'll be on after the game.
Yeah, I'll be on.
All right, Timmy. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. Michael Fish, final words before we get back to this on Saturday.
48 hours from now, we're going to be still on here talking about hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I hope
hell yeah. And I'm going to be going, Donovan Jackson, hell yeah. Malachi Starks, who? I don't need no Malachi Starks. We got Donovan Jackson.
I hope that's the case. I hope he gets like 3 pancakes and you're like, all right.
I am so excited to have football with an opposing team's jersey. I know it's preseason, and I know that even though they're coming to Nashville for their 3rd preseason game, I ain't interested in the shit to go see that game. That's just because I don't want to, but I will damn sure watch it on some television. I'm so excited.
Tanya, why don't you make a prediction for the game on Saturday? The score. It's important.
24-13 Vikings.
Ooh, okay. I like it. All right. Finish up your thoughts. Sorry to interrupt you.
So just remember, guys, for Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, at the beginning of the show, a few people were going on about how our John Randall clip is getting stale. Just do like George did. Donate a few bucks. Help us pay. We'll get a new cameo made. No problem. Or you can use Cash App. Or you can buy a coffee. Or you can become a member like Timmy and Shaq. See those green names? Help us out a little bit. You want us to improve this thing? Help us out. Help us improve it. Love you guys. Can't wait for 5 weeks from now. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know that it's ever going to get stale. John Randall saying my name or saying let's go. Like, I don't think that's ever going to get stale to me, but you guys can try. I mean, you can get Case Keenum maybe. We'll see. We'll talk.
Or Randy Moss.
Or Case Keenum. I don't think Moss gets it done. All right, Cody. Final words and your score prediction for Saturday.
So, I'll be watching the preseason game, but then I won't be on for the aftercare for it. I can't. I'm going to see the new Weapons movie that's coming out in the theaters. I got to take the wife on a date. It's we got rid of the kids for a little bit, so we got time to do these things. So I have to go.
Why do you keep going to the bathroom, Cody?
Yeah, right. You guys see that? Final score prediction for it. I'm gonna go Vikings 28, Texans 24. Kobe King plays a huge role in that whole scoreboard. Other than that, hey, don't be like Jordan Addison and get you 3 days off of work, right? Just be safe, have a plan. Weekend's coming up. All right, get you guys an Uber. $5 million is a lot cheaper than a $6 Uber ride. Just remember that. Other than that, always let's go.
All right, that's our show. Thank you, everybody who's been in the chat, especially those who've been here the whole time. Brian Morgan, thank you for coming through. It's okay that you came here late. You came here. Like we've been saying, we'll be here Saturday after the game. We might jump in, at the end of the fourth quarter if it's kind of getting stale and we need to pick me up. But we'll be here to talk about it. Cody doesn't know yet, but he will be here for part of it. Robbie, I'm not one less alcoholic, so go ahead. Tip up. All right, we'll see you guys on Saturday, and we'll see you next Thursday like we always do. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go, baby.